Tonight, when the sun goes down, you are going to feel it. Not dramatically, not like a child, just a quiet, unexplainable unease the moment the lights go out. Maybe you reach for your phone. Maybe you leave the bathroom light on. Maybe you tell yourself it is nothing and then check the lock one more time anyway. You are a grown adult. You know there is nothing in the dark, and yet something in you does not believe that. There is a reason for that, and it is far stranger than you think. Your brain is not malfunctioning. It is not being childish. It is running a survival program so old, so deeply wired into your neurology that no amount of logic has ever been able to fully override it. What you feel when the lights go out is not fear of darkness. It is the echo of 200,000 years of something that hunted you in it. Let that sit for a moment. For almost the entire span of human existence, night was not peaceful. It was not a time to rest your eyes and scroll your phone. Night was the most dangerous 4 to 8 hours of every single day. The predators that wanted to eat your ancestors, leopards, hyenas, lions, saber-toothed cats, were almost all nocturnal. They did not hunt in the afternoon. They waited for dark, and then they moved. Your ancestors who survived were not the bravest ones. They were not the ones who shrugged at the darkness and wandered out confidently. They were the ones who felt something go wrong in their chest when the light disappeared, the ones whose heart rate climbed, the ones who stayed close to the fire, stayed close to the group, and did not investigate that sound coming from the trees. Fear of the dark was not a weakness. It was the admission price to still being alive the next morning. Arne Oman, a researcher at the Karolinska Institute in Sweden, spent decades studying what he called prepared fears, the idea that the human brain comes factory-installed with certain fears that require almost no learning to develop because they were so critical to survival that evolution baked them directly into our threat detection system. Darkness was one of them. Snakes were another. Heights, spiders. You do not need to be bitten by a snake to be afraid of one. You do not need to fall from a cliff. The fear is preloaded. Your ancestors already paid that price, so you wouldn't have to. What this means is striking. Your fear of the dark is not a personal quirk. It is not something your parents accidentally gave you. It is a biological inheritance, a handed-down alarm system that has been refined across thousands of generations of humans who survived the night because they took it seriously. Think about what night actually was for most of human history. There was no electricity for 99.9% of the time our species has existed. No streetlights, no phone screens, no ambient glow from a city outside your window. When night came, it came completely. Total darkness, the kind of darkness where you cannot see your hand in front of your face, the kind of darkness where sound becomes your only information, or every snapped twig, every rustle in the leaves, every shift in the wind could mean something is close. Your visual system, which you rely on for roughly 80% of your sensory information during the day, goes almost completely offline, and your brain knows it. The moment light drops below a certain threshold, your amygdala, the small almond-shaped region deep in your brain that processes threat, begins to increase its activity. It does not wait to see if something is actually wrong. It assumes something might be wrong, because for most of human history, that assumption kept people alive. This is what neuroscientists call hypervigilance, a state of heightened alertness that your brain shifts into automatically when it loses the visual information it depends on. Your hearing sharpens, your breathing slows, your body prepares. Not because you decided to be afraid, but because the architecture of your brain makes that decision for you before you're even consciously aware it's happening. Researcher David Rakesson at Carnegie Mellon University found that human infants as young as 8 to 14 months old show fear responses to darkness and to stimuli associated with nocturnal predators, even with no prior experience of those threats. The fear is not learned from a scary movie or a warning from a parent. It is emerging from something already present in the brain's wiring, something inherited. Here's the part that most people never consider. Your fear of the dark is not just the darkness itself. It fears what the dark conceals. This is a critical distinction. What your threat system is actually responding to is uncertainty, the absence of information, the inability to see what might be there. Darkness is not the threat. Darkness is the condition that removes your ability to detect the threat. This is why you feel uneasy walking to your car in a dark parking lot even when you logically know it's probably safe. This is why the corner of a dark room draws your eye. This is why you feel a spike of something, not quite fear, but adjacent to it, when a light suddenly goes out. Your brain is not reacting to what is there, it's reacting to the fact that it cannot tell what is there. And for most of human history, that uncertainty was genuinely lethal. Matthew Walker, the sleep researcher and author of Why We Sleep, has written about how the human brain's relationship with darkness is fundamentally tied to its relationship with safety and rest. Your brain does not simply switch off at night. It runs a continuous background scan, monitoring the environment for threats even during sleep. The lightest stages of your sleep cycle, the stages where you are most easily woken, cluster in the early and late hours of the night, the periods when predator activity would have historically been highest. Your brain staggers your deepest sleep into the middle of the night, when you are least likely to need to wake quickly and run. You are not just afraid of the dark when you are awake. Your entire sleep architecture is shaped around the ancient reality of what the dark contained. So what does this mean for you tonight? The next time the lights go out and you feel that quiet unease, that low-level scan, that slight reluctance to cross a dark room, that instinct to check the lock one more time, you are not being irrational. You are not being weak. You are experiencing one of the oldest, most refined, most successful pieces of software ever written into the human body. 200,000 years of humans who survived the night because they respected it, because they felt what you are feeling right now, because they did not dismiss it. You are alive because your ancestors were afraid of the dark, and some part of you, the oldest part, still remembers why. Tonight, when the sun goes down, you are going to feel it. And now you know exactly what it is.